Hi Flosstube, I'm Amy. I love toads and cross stitch. This is going to be Flosstube 90. It's January the 2nd, 2023. And I have a lot, so this might be long. And it's gonna be kind of broken up because I have stuff over there to show and over there to show and right there to show. So I'm going to show you my whips first, and then my hair is driving me crazy. Okay, I'm going to show you my whips first. I have new starts because I did 12 by 12 for New Year's Eve. Oh, and I have one finish. So I have a Saf, which is a start and finish, and it is by the Blue Flower, Janine McGowan, and I use all the called for except for the green. His hat was supposed to be red, and I changed it to green, and I think he's just called Christmas Hippo or Hippo, and he turned out so cute. Let's see, I stitched this on 32 count cream brulee, and I'm sure it's by R&R, and I did 1/2 on 32 count, except for the white. I did 2/2. So he's a little finish for Christmas, and I think I stitched him on Christmas, or maybe Christmas Eve. So, okay, my next one whip actually was a new start. Let me see. On December the 12th. So this is the pattern that Luca-S sent me. Okay, there's birds at my bird feeder, so I'm going to be distracted looking out the window. So this is the kit. Actually, they sent me a kit. And there went the remote control on the floor. Okay, so they gave me a code. You can go to Luca-S, and it's Amy10 for 10% off. So look how cool this is at the bottom. So it's all X's. It tells you what count Ada. That's the color of the Ada. They use anchor. This is like the skill level. It's 3 out of 5 stars. I think that might be the height. Where are my glasses? Yep, the height and the width. And it just gives you like a little symbol thing. So actually right here, that's a 2, so all of them are 2 over the 1 Ada. And I started it, and I love it, and I love this fabric, and it's gridded. So here is where I'm at. You can see it's kind of gridded. I started in the left-hand corner. So right there is antlers. And I'm loving it. I am loving the fabric. It's so soft. It's not stiff at all. I am loving that I only have to use 2 strands all the time. I don't have to be switching from 1 strand to 6 strands to 4 strands to 1 strand to 2 strands and doing like half stitches and 3/4 stitches, and it's just all 2 strands over 1, and I love it. So that's my Luca-S kit, and I will put the code, and I will, okay, the code and the link there, store. I wanted to show you the floss. Okay, so here's what the floss looks like. It comes on this, and it's anchor. And then they have the holes here that you can punch out to put your extra. So here's my extra. And yeah, enjoying that very much. that was a new start. And then I worked on my Blue Jays. This is from Riolis. This was a wool acrylic, and I converted it to DMC cotton. I'm using the kit fabric, and that's where I'm at. So I'll hold it up and then I'll pull back and show you where I was. And here's the plan. Who knows if it's gonna work, but I have divided this pattern up in sections like Colette does. Colette and a couple other people divide, and I think Sammy J does this too. See, you can see lines. I divided it up. So this whole side is already done, but I'm gonna finish that section in January, that section in February, March, April, May, June. So hopefully I will have this done by June. I'm almost done with January's. I think I have a little bit more back stitching to do, like right here. And then January's will be done. And February is almost done also. So February will be easy peasy. Oh wait, no, over here. This is January, over here. I'm flipped. So right here, this, I think January goes to here. So I have like that much more to do and some back stitching. And then, so this is February and it's almost done. March, April, May's gonna be crazy. Okay, so that's the plan. We'll see if I can keep up with that. And I finished another section of my 12 Northern Days of Christmas. This is by X's and O's, and I finished my 3 French hens. I'll show you a bigger picture of them. This is the artwork that was charted from this artwork. So there they are. Look at the little ice skates, and you can see the laces coming off their ice skates. And there you go. I'll hold it up and then I'll pull it back. So look at their little ice skates with the ribbon. And these are mostly full coverage. So I'll pull it back and you can see where I was. This is 40 count alabaster. 1/2. A sip of my coffee. In December, I worked a little bit on my reindeer feed sack. This is by Carriage House Samplings. I changed the red to green. I'm using a Belle Soie from my Sarah Elizabeth Brooke called Herb Garden. And I think this fabric is called Beige from Weeks Dye Works. Let's see. Yeah, and it's a 32 count, and I'm only stitching it 1/2 on 32 count because I wanted it to look like a feed sack. And this is where I'm at. And I'm gonna be making it into a bag and probably putting some greenery in it for Christmas. needle minders, sticking to needle minders. Okay, this one is a dimensions kit. I have not worked on this one in a while. I thought it was time to work on it just a bit. It is called Ugly Duckling, and it's a Gold Collection Petites. I think I got this off of eBay a couple years ago. And I'm using everything. I'm using everything in the kit. I'm using the floss and the fabric. And this is where I'm at. So I think all this is backstitched, but I haven't backstitched this duck or that duck. I think maybe I did the black on his bill and around his eye. On December 13th, I stitched my one of my dark pieces, Dark to Me. My Emo Birds by Lindy Stitches. And I'm using everything called for. I got my fabric from Stephanie on her website. And here is where my vulture is, the middle vulture. And I will tell you what this fabric is in a minute. I think this fabric always does something weird in my camera. The white there is Whisper, so when I'm done I can fluff that up. This is, I believe it's 32 count because I got it on her website, and that's all. I don't think either the 36 was sold out or she didn't have 36. So I went ahead and got the 32, and I'm stitching it 1/2 on 32. So you can, they're a little sparse, but I don't mind. Okay, let me see. So here's my Whisper. You can see how fluffy it is. And it's a Seraphim fabric. It is 32 count and it's called Finian. Okay. Last one of my regular whips, although I will pull out my full coverage here in a minute. This is a Gold Collection Dimensions, not a petite. And I think I mostly concentrated in that bobble. Not quite done with it yet, but pretty close. Changing a lot of this, a lot of the red out. So I took the red out of the name, took it out of these little tiny places right here. I'm using all the kit fabric, all the kit floss and fabric. And let's see, okay, I'll hold it back a little bit and then I'll bring it in. So I'll put the before picture and you can see that I concentrated on that bobble. And I think my cardinal is all backstitched. I've done a lot of the backstitch in there, but like this section isn't done yet and there's some backstitch in that section. See how I changed, that's green now, and that's got a little bit of green in it, brown. So I took that red out of there. I know it's probably hard to see because I'm moving and shaking it so much. So once I finish that bobble, All I have left is that toe. There's my name in brown. Kind of a gray brown. Oh, and I filmed my stockings, my other two stockings that were hanging here. Somebody asked to see them up close, so I'm gonna put in where I filmed yesterday. I was putting them away yesterday, and I did a little clip showing them up close. So I will put that in right here. Hey Flosstube, somebody asked for me to show my stockings up close before I put them away, and they're going away today. It is January the 1st. I'm cleaning up Christmas stuff, cleaning the yard because it's 64 degrees Fahrenheit outside today. It's 2023. So I'm gonna show you, first is my daughter's stocking. This is the one I did first. Here, I'll hold it back first. I used all the called for everything. It was in a Stony Creek magazine. I don't know which edition, but I didn't change anything. I wish I would have now. I wish I would have changed these to brown and maybe her name to green or brown, but I'm not gonna rip it apart, so it's gonna stay this way. There's beads on there. This is even the called for fabric, except it's 32 count. I think they called for 28 count. You can probably hear my washing machine going too. It's cleaning day here today. So this is this one up close, and it is in a Stony Creek magazine. You can still get it, and here's the back. And I put like I guess a piping thing trim on the sides. And my husband is fixing the dog steps, so you hear him sawing outside. Okay, my son's came out of this book. I did this one for my son. I did change that lantern to green, like a Boy Scout Coleman, like a Coleman lantern green. It is from a Stony Creek, called Christmas in the Woods, and I used all the called for except, so it was DMC, except for the lantern. And did I change his name? His name maybe was charted in green, so I don't remember if it was red or green. So this is his. So, yep, the lantern is green now. And this is a 32 count also, and I think they may have called for 28. And on the back of his. So I think on the back of all of them, I'm just gonna have little pine or holly, and they'll all be different. Every time I go pick some out, I'll just pick out a different one. So they'll all sort of be the same theme, like a winter foliage, but different. Like, yeah. So here they are. They're going away, and you will see mine in my whips. And I started my husband's last night on New Year's Eve for the 12 by 12. So these are, okay, I'm going to clean and put away. Okay. Now I'm going to stop, put this away. I'm going to get my full coverage, and I'm going to get my 12 by 12 New Year's Eve starts, which I only did 6 by 12. So I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, here's my full coverage. It is called Wish You Were Here. It is by Artisy, and the artwork is by Royce McClary. It is a cropped version of a bigger painting. So it only goes from here, and I think I'm about 2 blocks or 3 blocks from the bottom. So it'll only go to here. Our bus's name is Jaws, and this will be a pillow that is going into our bus Jaws. So I know I've already done it, but I'll put a picture of what it looks like and where it was. And I think this is getting ready to come out. I was supposed to start a full coverage with Natalie and her sister, and I didn't do it. So I think I'm going to start that full coverage on my birthday, which is in February. And that is the chipmunk, and I'll try to put a picture of it. If I remember, I'll put a picture of that right here. And stitch that full coverage with Natalie and her sister Emily. Natalie has a floss tube, Emily does not. And I'll put Natalie's floss tube below. But they were starting a full coverage in December. And I didn't do it because I did all these other starts. Okay, so I'm gonna put that down. That's my K's Creation lap stand I use for my full coverage, and I got that off of Etsy. Okay, 12 by 12. You were supposed to start 12 projects, starting at 12 until New Year's Eve, 1 an hour. I can't do that because it would just stress me out. I have all these patterns that I want to start, so I was like, well, let me just do 6, and I will do one every 2 hours. So I started one at 12, one at 2, one at 4, one at 6, one at 8, and I started 6 of them. I did this with a lot of people in the cross stitch community, but Pam from Just Keep Stitching and Kia from Kia B are the ones who kind of run it. And it was so fun to get on live on Instagram and see them. I think they did it like every 4 hours they popped on, and it was so fun. Okay, so the first one that I started. I'm not going to show you the pattern because this is like a secret stitch, and this will probably be the last time you see this until it is done, which will be Christmas 2023. So this Christmas, I plan to have a couple of these done, and they're going to be gifts, so I'm not going to show this again. This fabric is a gray from Weeks Dye Works. I think it used to be Confederate gray. I really like this fabric though. It's a gray, and it's a 36 count, and that's all you get. Oh, that's Garden Gate. One of my favorite flosses, Garden Gate by Gas. I don't even have a needle minder on this yet. Okay, so I'll be working on this. It's going to be completely filled up probably by the end of December, maybe November, because I need to make them into things to give to people. But I will take pictures along the way, so in December you'll get to see the pictures then. Okay, my next start. I don't know if this is in order or not. I started with this with Kim from The Contented Stitcher. I think she changed her floss tube name, but she's still like the Contented Stitcher Kim, maybe? So this is Be Ours Moth by Kathy Barrick. I did the other moth, so they will go together. And I'm stitching this on R&R Creek Bed Brown, and it is a 36 count. And that is the middle of my moth. So this is 2 hours of work. Actually, it's probably only an hour and a half of work. By the time I got like the fabric pulled out and the thread pulled out and my needle threaded and it in the hoop and where am I gonna start, it's probably really only an hour and a half of work. And some of these, you know, it's dinner time, so you gotta stop to eat and you gotta stop to pee, and you know, it really... Okay, oh, I need my basket closer. This one is called the Autumn Chipmunk. It is by Kitty Me Designs. And you know I've been wanting to stitch him for a while. This is Bramble. I think it's 36 count. Let me move my needle minder a little bit. And there he is. The start of his head. Bramble is one of my favorite fabrics. It's a great neutral. Okay, this one is probably going to be my exchange piece for StitchCon. I Love Fall Most of All by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And I think I'm stitching this on Bramble also. Yep, and it's a 32 count and I'm doing it 1/2. Let me see. Nope, this way. Goes this way. I was going to try to get down to the pumpkin because that pumpkin is kind of big and I wanted to start some of that pumpkin. But I was missing some colors, so I couldn't get down there yet. This one is hard to see on my fabric. I'm hoping it's going to turn out good because I saw Becca, is it Becca Stitches? Stitching Becca. She stitched this and I think she finished it and it looks beautiful, and this is the fabric that she used. So I'm using the same exact fabric, so it's gonna turn out fine. This is my Native American Maiden. And I started right up in this corner, and the background is 1 strand and then she's 2 strands. So the background is very faint. This is Vintage Country Mocha, 32 count, because she has beads. So it's very light, and that's a TP, and that's the start of a TP. Shove this down in there. Okay, last one I started, was that 6? I think that's 6. I started my husband's stocking. And I'm just going to wait till I finish my stocking, and then I have a start on this, and I don't have to worry about where I'm gonna start, how I'm gonna start. It's just started. I am changing out the truck color. I'm not stitching a red truck. I think we decided on a gray truck or a black truck. And this red and white is where I started, and I changed that red out to brown, I believe. Yeah, a brown. I'm using all the kit floss, except I changed out the brown, and I will be changing out the black for the truck, changing the red out, and it'll be DMC. But this is where I started. So it's the top of the stocking. And you know, I was stitching this like at 11 o'clock at night, so not very much done. And I changed that red out to Palomino from Weeks Dye Works. And I'll probably put this brown in a little more places just so it coordinates a little bit. So that is my 6 by 12. Starts on New Year's Eve. Okay, I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to get my purchases and gifts, and I have Christmas cards. See, this is going to be so long. And then I'll be done. So hold on. Okay, purchases really quick. This, I did get my Jingle Baubles ornament book from the Jingle Ball. I love this. Of course, I'll change the colors, but I love that. And then this little guy to go with my hippo. from Janine, the blue flower. And I love the one Lindy Stitches did. It's a mouse somewhere in this book. I don't know. I like a bunch of them. So I got that from the ball. I needed this for my I Love Fall Most of All. So I ordered from Hollis Hands Creates, and I went ahead and got a piece of fabric just to see. This is Mayflower by Fox and Rabbit. It's 36 count. That's what it looks like. And then I had to grab this. The cardinals, because it has a female cardinal. That's what I got from Hollis Hands Creates. And then one last pattern. I got this from Cobweb Corner. Isn't it cute? So I thought that was a chickadee, but it is a coal tit and a fairy and a cricket on their head, on her head. Let's see what this is called. It is called the Tits Fairy. Yep, I love that. Okay. Then I went to a witch market. My husband and I made him take me to the witch market. And a lady was selling these spiders. And I needed a spider for my spider web cross stitch arc of white. So I don't know if you can see them, but I couldn't choose. I couldn't choose which spider I wanted. So my husband was like, well, just get both of them and figure it out later. So one of those are gonna go on my arc of white spider web that I'm stitching with Leah Noel. Okay, now I'm going to pause again, and then I'm gonna come back with my Stitchy Kindness. Okay, I have a lot of Stitchy Kindness. I want to give away from Taryn Verlee. She has a floss tube. I will link her down below. But she was giving away this bag. And I want it. It's so cute. But she filled the bag with stuff. And I want to show you. So she put some scissors in there. Trim. Let me take this out of the bag. These are floss drops with like bees, a bee needle minder. She put all kinds of stuff in this bag, even non-stitchy stuff in this bag. So thank you so much, Taryn. And I'm gonna link her below. Cindy from Cindy's Cross Stitch sent me this, a camper. It's a like a wool felt, and it's on a little stand in a candy bar that I already ate. So Natalie from the UK, she has a floss tube. I'm gonna link her below. She's the one I was supposed to start the full coverage with. She sent me a Christmas gift, sent me a Mill Hill kit and a Winnie the Pooh project bag that I'm going to start using. I love it. I'm going to put my secret stitching in here for Christmas. So that needs to go over there. Kenzie from Mud Puppy Stitchery. She came out with another pattern and she sent it to me, and I'm going to have to stitch it because it just reminds me of my son so much. He was probably 6 years old, and he came to me and explained to me what venomous and poisonous meant, that it was two different things. And I was like, oh my God, you're brilliant. So I'm gonna hold it for a little while. So she has an Etsy store, and she started a floss tube. So I'm going to link her down below. I love it. So I won't stitch the green. The green's not stitched. It's just the snake and the toad and the poisonous frog. And she just actually put out a second floss tube. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm so excited. Okay, Christmas cards. Christmas cards. Let me put my glasses on. I keep taking them on and off. On and off, on and off. Okay. This is from Taryn. Bees. Of course, bees. This is from Laura Hines. Thank you, Laura. And she sent me some cute stickers too that I can't wait to put on my iPad cover. This is from the Vensels. They have the, her children are in this picture. Let me think. Should I show that here? Well, I'll flash it real quick. Rachel Vensel, Be Well and Stitch is her floss tube. Stacy and her husband. Angie, Angie Meyer. I got a lot of Snoopy, did the Peanuts cards. Okay, this is from Melly Ellie Stitches. This one, oh my goodness, look how beautiful. Donna Ray. Christine from Stitch All the Things. This is from Natalie over in the UK, Natalie and Greg. Cindy's cross stitch. That came with my little camper. And then last but not least, my Pam and my Steph. So fun. I did not send out Christmas cards this year. It is too stressful for me. Even thank you cards I could not write. I have trouble reading and writing anyway when I'm not stressed. I have dyslexia, and I will write out a sentence and like every other word is flipped, and I have to, it is so stressful. And so I couldn't do it this year. I couldn't even think about writing this Christmas, so. But thank you everybody who sent me Christmas cards. I love them. I love getting them. I think that's it. Let me look at my notes. I know that was a lot, and I want to apologize for it being a lot, but it'll be fine. Okay, I'm going to go eat lunch. I love you guys.